Take this as a sign to sometimes have yourself a main character moment. Sometimes that shit just happens. Like, you just have to seize the day. Because, oh my god, earlier this week, I went out to a comedy show with a friend. And it was supposed to just be a comedy show. But then I encouraged them. I was like, hey, you said that you've done comedy before, right? How about this? I dare you to get on the mic last. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, go ahead. You got jokes, don't you? How about you try it out? And it was like a simple, it was actually sort of like a game for the comedians. It was like, hey, here's a bucket. You pull out a topic that all the other comedians have put in the bucket that you don't know about. And you get to pick like 3 of them or so. And you get to choose a random topic. So it was basically like a randomized topic that you were supposed to riff off of immediately. And my buddy went up. Was he a little... okay, we're no longer friends, so I can say it. He was a bit of a dumbass because he did get on stage and he was like, I'm not reading that one. I'm not reading that one either. I'm not reading that one either. And throwing the topics on the ground so everyone was like, oh my fucking god, bud. But you know what? Hey, it was still... Even though I thought to myself, this is the most infuriating, like, he made the crowd hella pissed. But you know what? He had a blast. And then afterward, like, and it was still funny as fuck, and I got it recorded and everything. And it was a fun time. And then afterwards, we were like, hey, let's go to karaoke. And mind you, I had been wasted off of several, like, Red Bull Whiskey Shirley Temples. And you should have seen the bartender's face when I asked for that. They were like, huh, like, straightforward enough, but, like... interesting choice of drink. The bartender looked at me like I killed their fucking cat when I asked for that. But simply put, I went out to karaoke, and then let's just say I was wasted enough, and I thought to myself, fuck it, I'm gonna get on stage and just try my hand at singing and rapping and stuff, even though I am not exactly a singer. But when I'm drunk, I like to sing, and it's everyone's problem except for mine if I'm singing, because I'm just gonna be doing shit. And oh my god, let's just say I was wasted and I got on stage singing Physically Fit by Madagascar and just dancing and showing off my moves and stuff. I got lit. And then I was like, okay, you know what, that was fun, let's do it again, because I ain't gonna remember this shit tomorrow, and let's make some funny videos that I can cringe at and put in a time capsule for my future kids to, like, mock me for or something. Or post on the internet if I really felt like I wanted to, but I'm probably not gonna do that. No, you will not. But I was like, I'm gonna start rapping fucking Cash Doll. I had a blast with that. Let's see. I did Wicked Games by The Weeknd. I did Drugs by Eden. The song Drugs by the artist Eden, by the way. Pause. Process that. I don't do drugs. I'm anti-drug. And then, yeah, I had a fucking blast, and next thing you know, like, this group of college kids came in, and they were singing some song that was pretty lit, and next thing you know, me and my buddy were just on the dance floor, like, I was doing the walk 'em like a dog dance move on beat, I was doing all sorts of, like, Vogue dancing, like, I was busting it, I was having a blast. It was fucking hysterical. And the guy who was doing the karaoke and, like, setting it up, he just was like, thank you both so much for coming. I had such a fun time watching y'all. And it was a blast, and I loved that. And then what happened was, eventually, like, yeah, let's just say I went, yeah, like, last night, basically. So mind you, it's like, that was Tuesday night, tonight was Thursday night, and I guess I kind of took the shot because a friend of mine who's a comedian, like, she's also artistic and stuff. I mean, okay, I think they have she, they pronouns, but I still want to practice saying they, them. They, were gonna perform, and I was like, hey, out of curiosity, do you get a +1? And they said, oh, I don't think they gave me one. And I said, well, it never hurts to ask, and I was like, hey, I'm feeling audacious, the worst I can do is ask. That's a key point to being the main character in your life. You have to not be afraid to ask questions and get rejection, because rejection is either redirection, or sometimes you'll be surprised at what good can come your way. And I just said, oh, well, if you want to ask and if you want to see me there, then, hey, feel free to. But no pressure, because I can also just stay inside, or maybe I'll go to, like, that one bar, or, like, this other comedy spot. But it's kind of cold, so I might stay in. Tell me why, like, 20 minutes before the show started, they were like, oh, hey, they just told me I get a +1 last minute. So, come on out if you want. I was like, fuck it. I got the Uber funds. I went out, had a blast watching them, recorded them, and then towards the end of the night, they were like, hey, they're, like, at the event I was at, it was a variety show. Really fucking cool. The night was pretty good. If I want to give an honest critique about it, I kind of was like, the night's good? Not quite great, though. But then again, I was in the audience, like, and I was surrounded by these people who were, like, not quite as hype. So you could be, like, spitting flames, or, like, you could have a fucking sword on fire that you're balancing on your toes while you're stark fucking naked with a whole lot of ass and titties, and they would just be like, like silently watching, no clapping, no cheering, no anything. And it's like they were some squares were in the audience. It's like I'm just saying. Like they even tell you at that show, it's like, hey, it's interactive performances, so if you don't interact, the performance is bad. You have to cheer so that these people don't go home and kill themselves. Like, you know, that's what they say at events for comedy and performances and stuff. Because if the audience is dead silent and not showing any sort of amusement, you're gonna go home like, that was nice, but oddly kind of awkward, and you're not, and like, you know. But I still had fun, plenty of good performances. But then towards the end of the evening, they were like, oh, also we have freestyle battle rap comedy, and the winner gets $300. Now, mind you, I'm friends with the beatboxing DJ, and he has seen me freestyle on my Instagram story like several times whenever I was drunk, sad, bored as fuck in the crib, just giddy. Like, he's seen me, and even in the past, he was like, you should get up and do freestyle rap sometime. You are really fucking good. And I was like, yeah, I think he's just gassing me up. But then they said the prize money was like $300. And I thought to myself, I doubt I will win because they have other talented, like, they had these two people who are always fucking amazing each time. And I thought to myself, they're fucking incredible. But as for me, I thought to myself, let's say the absolute best potential. I win over the crowd, everyone cheers for me, shit goes insane, and then the absolute worst case scenario, like, I thought to myself, hey, I'm trying to record music more and, like, get that as a hobby at home. Like, I'm trying to, like, make music, and, like, I'm struggling to, because even in my own apartment, I've just been kind of, like, quiet as fuck. Excuse me. Oh, but simply put, like, how do I put this? I thought to myself, absolute worst case scenario, the audience is dead as fuck for me, hostile, booze me, and I go home, but I laugh my ass off about how I tried, and I face the fear. And then, you know, instead of being at home trying to record music, like, oh, I don't know, like, you know, because I'd be in the crib and I'd be like, I'm anxious, I don't like the sound of my own voice, blah, 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 all that shit. And I wouldn't, like, I haven't recorded music that I've been writing for years because of it, and I want to face that fear. And what better way to face the fear than going out on a huge stage of huge amounts of talented and random people, and, like, a huge audience, you try to freestyle rap, and then, like, if they fucking hate you, but you liked your bars, you can still go home and be like, suddenly, being at home and saying verses that I like to myself into a computer, and then making a song with someone who also likes the verses doesn't seem so bad. Because at least I'm not getting booed on a stage. But you know what happened? How do I put this? Let's not talk about how I did. Let's talk about the good that happened. The crowd loved me regardless. They were very sweet. I got to one of my favorite battle rappers. He went easy on me, but he did make a joke like, oh, you look so nice and happy, but I have to say it, sis, your hair is kind of nappy. And it was like, fuck. He got my, that was fucking funny. But he went very easy on me because I literally would just get on stage like, I don't know what the fuck to say. A. It's like I didn't even get the A on beat. I wrote a bunch of verses like right before getting on stage and I forgot all of them. I said a verse that I really fucking liked, but no one understood it. And this bitch in the crowd, she was like, what? Like hella loud when I said it. I don't even want to repeat the verse. Do I? I could. Okay, so the verse was like a joke. It was like, I broke a hole in my tights, but I'll never be broke because my real hole is tight. And like, it was supposed to be a joke about like, hey, yeah, you I liked that verse. Fuck her, I like that verse. She kind of haunted my dreams last night, but it was okay. Aside from that, the audience was still vibing. They were like, hey, for anything else I was trying to say. That rhymes. Silly time. And I had a blast, and I looked cute on stage. That was my main goal. I was like, let me just get, like, because I was like, I have a banger-ass outfit on, and I want to get looked at while I'm in it. I don't want to just go home without trying to do anything, like, you know, and also it's like, okay, like, it would have just been me going, I'm gonna just fucking silently keep to myself, and then not try anything new, and not try talking to new people, and all that. But I saw it as a social tool, too. I thought to myself, I will get to make more friends, and people will come up and talk to me, good or bad, about my performance. And that could be a lot of fun. And let's just say that did happen, because, like, I had a blast on stage, got roasted by the rapper, who put me up there. God bless his soul. He was funny as fuck. He was very sweet. And then I still got to be on stage, and I even got to be in the huge group photo they take with all the talented artists at the end of the night. And I got to meet all these different, like, musicians, comedians, battle rappers, freestyle rappers that I had already been wanting to meet. And people were just, like, trying to talk to me endlessly. They were just like, yeah, girl, you did well. And I kind of thought to myself, no, the fuck I did not. But I can't say that. I was like, oh, thank you so much. Oh. But yeah, they were like, you did really well, sis. You did so good. And like, they really were trying to be like, come back and do this again. You need to come back. Like, you know, just eat the mic next time so people can hear you enunciate better. But you did well. You had the crowd. People really liked you, and you had the confidence too. Most people freeze up there, but you were out there like dancing and trying to keep the energy up and shit, and that really, really worked for you. So I'm just saying, like, that's what you gotta do. And I was like, that sounds fucking tight. And then, like, even people who didn't, like, how do I put this? It also helped that I was friends with, or at least, like, good acquaintances with plenty of people there. That was lovely. Mwah. But what made it better is that I had, like, even the dude who, like, owns and, like, runs the spot, like, one of the co-hosts, let's just say there's been some beef between me and him, like, once before. But he was sweet tonight. He straight up walked up and he was like, thank you for doing that. You did so great. Come back again. And he was giving me advice, and other people were actively giving me advice. They were like, you need to come back again. We want to see you back on stage. And they told me that because I went up, like, on stage at that event, that now I have free access to that event. So I don't have to pay for tickets anymore. I just get to show up. So I no longer have to pay to ever go to their event ever again. And I got a free t-shirt. And I made some new friends, and I had a wonderful time, like, because, like, hell, the rapper who roasted me, he was like, hey, sis, come on now, you did good tonight. He hugged me, he was like, come on, let's go. And we all went upstairs to their upstairs patio, and we were just talking and vibing. It was a wonderful time. It was exquisite. And then I stayed up there just talking for, like a few extra hours with these really cool people about, the CEO shit, and the Jay-Z shit, and comedy, and performing, and lyric writing, and it was really great. I'm so grateful that I did that. And and I'll put it to you like this, going on stage actually wasn't that bad. Like, sure, did I stay up until 5 a.m. kind of like, oh Jesus, remember that pause where, like, that girl yelled what, and, like, hella incredulously when she didn't get the bar I sit on stage and she hated it. That kept me up cringing, but it also kept me up laughing, and I was just like, I still can't believe I did that. I'm just saying, it's like, that's an important thing in life, and that's how you grow as a person. I'm gonna say it. Sometimes I don't like cowards. I don't. I understand them. Doesn't mean I inherently. It takes a while to jump over certain hoops. Life is short though. Do shit while you can. So I don't know, whenever I see people that don't seize the day or don't, like, treat themselves well while they can or try new things, I just think to myself, you're setting yourself up for a life that is sad. Like, if you never are, like, if you're like, I'm gonna never set a boundary with my parent. I'm going to never, like, try a cute new fashion style. I'm going to, like, you have to do shit that scares you. And there are ways to ease into it. Like, hell, I remember I was like, oh, excuse me. I remember I straight up was feeling kind of miserable this summer. And then I went, you know what, fuck it. I deserve to feel cute. I got myself a nice push-up bra, some crop tops, a skirt. I got some little fancy body oils and lotions and some cute lip glosses and some little, like, eyeliner and stuff. And I got a bunch of colorful wigs, and I was like, okay, they are no longer gonna see me as just, like, timidity at the comedy spots, like, dressing super, like, modest, always, like, like, fully covered, fully clothed, like, suspicious hairstyles. It's like, now it's like, oh, hey, Timidi's got blue hair now. And then it's like, I actually didn't get as much hate as you would think. I actually had a lot more praise. People were like, damn, you actually look really good in that blue hair. God damn, you're gorgeous. And when they saw me in this pink wig, I was snapping necks and turning heads, baby. Ooh, like on some exorcist shit. Like, exorcist, just like fucking head spinning. Like, whoa, who's that? Who's that girl with the beautiful pink hair and the cute little miniskirt and the pink crop tops with the perky titties? I'm just saying, you could have fun. And it's like, it's important. When I was young, I remember I didn't have fucking really anybody for quite a while. I was lucky that a few people here and there were still very nice to me and still very wonderful. God bless to them. I hope most of them are doing well. And I'm grateful to people who did benefit my life while they could. Absolutely. But you know, like I could have just decided I'm not gonna try any new hairstyles. I'm not gonna learn how to do my skincare. Not gonna learn how to like roast people. Not gonna learn how to get more confidence. Not gonna ever ask questions or talk to new people or do like I could have just stayed in the same spot. But you never will grow. If you want to grow, you have to do shit that scares you. So, and I kind of knew to myself, if I don't get on stage tonight, even though I know it will fill me with so much anxiety to do so, I was anxious as fuck for like the next like 20-25 minutes before I got on that stage. I knew to myself that if I just went home, I would have wanted to permanently, and I would have hated it. And I'm so glad I took that risk. Funny enough, last winter around the same week, I actually did that too. Like, yeah, last December, I remember I was going through a tough month and I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, a guy, like one of the dudes who was hosting the comedy event, he was like, are you sure you don't want to get on the mic? We have room, we have room. And he kept kind of pestering, and I kind of thought to myself, I remember I went to my buddy Seamus, like, and texted him. I was like, hey, so are you going to get up tonight and perform? And he was like, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I said, what's it going to take for you to perform? He said, I need someone to get on stage and bomb really hard. And I went on stage and I bombed really hard, but I had a blast. And the next thing you know, that led to the amazing following year that I've had so far. Because me doing that, like, Jesus, it really has been a year. Like, wow, that's so insane to think about. I'm grateful as fuck. That's beautiful. Faggot. Oh, sorry, ignore that last word. That was me having an intrusive thought that slipped out. I apologize. Sorry. I have mental illness and I'm gay, so just saying. And non binary. Don't get too mad. Sorry about that, though. Awkward that I paused it first. I usually pause videos whenever I'm having intrusive thoughts so that I can just get them out of my system. I'd be like having maladaptive daydreaming or like temporarily pauses in thought. Anyway, let's focus on the topic at hand. Sorry about that. The show must go on. But yeah, I remember that I went on stage, bombed, but then I met a bunch of wonderful and not so great, but also really, really amazing people who ended up making my life like so much more interesting and so much better. And then next thing you know, that led to a domino effect where now it's today, modern day. I'll have a bunch of friends who are comedians and they'll be like, hey, Tamia, we want to get this spot popular. Can you show up? I'll pay for your food and drink. Or, hey, Tamia, can you come to this location? Like, I'd love to see you. We have donuts and I'll pay for your ticket. Like, they're really, like, hell. Like, I'm just saying. And it's kind of funny. I was thinking to myself, I remember years before when my mom tried to insult me. And she tried to be like, ooh, you don't clean your room as much as you should. Mind you, it's like my grandmother had fucking feces on the wall and fucking Jolly Ranchers and chili beans on the floor embedded into the carpet. But my mom was complaining about the, like, fucking, like, no, not even 6, more like fucking 3 feet of space in between the bunk bed where I had to put basically all of my items. Like, it's like I have 3 feet of space, and at maximum, like a single 4 feet. And then the 4 feet are taken up by my tiny ass dresser. So it's like, of course, it's like, oh no. Tamia has a small corner of the room that's cluttered compared to all the other bullshit that is cluttered because of her fucking nasty ass grandmother. And my mother was weird. She just wanted to take out her anger where she could control. It's like, bitch, why? Like, she couldn't yell at her mother, so she could just only yell at me for some reason. It was stupid. She should have saved her fucking breath. But I remember this one time, my mother went on a rant where she was just like, you're always out and about as if you are some goddamn socialite. You are not a goddamn socialite. And it's just funny that years later, it's like, I kind of am, ma'am. Like, yeah, people want to know what I'm doing, where I'm going, and then, like, always see me out and about. And yeah, no offense, I'm kind of like a big deal. And I say that as playfully and humbly as I can, obviously. Like, but it's still like, hey, people like me, and I can go out anywhere I want, whenever I want, and have a blast. What can I say? Thanks for the good genetics. That's a factor. But I remember in that exact same conversation, she was degrading me, and I thought to myself, I don't want to be around a woman like in such awful circumstances. And I remember that despite it scaring me, I also had this same feeling of, I'm tired of her. So I remember when she kind of like finished her little rant and said, do you have anything to say for yourself? Or like, and what are you going to do about all this? I said, oh, you don't have to worry about it. I'm moving out pretty soon, so you don't have to really be concerned. And then she just was speechless and she just stormed out the room all angry and shit. And like, not my fucking fault though. And yeah, and I was glad I stood up to her. I just thought to myself, hey, I could just be anywhere else but here. And then similarly put, like the final fight I had with my mom years later, because ironically I didn't move out, my mom didn't want me to and stuff. Oh, but I really would have preferred homelessness to living with her. Like, and I know that's such a wild thing to say, but it's like I really was going to take that risk. As scary as it was, I was going to do that. But you know, let's just say towards like 3 years ago, when my mom actually did finally like try again with like losing her fucking shit on me, what helped is that I went, I don't want to do like, do I really want to be like 21 years of age being yelled at by a woman because like in an entirely clean room I have like one single like unvacuumed corner, and the only reason I didn't get to vacuum that corner is because she had multiple times destroyed like the safety and cleanliness of my room herself. Yeah, I just thought to myself, it's just gonna be a fucked up limbo in my life, and I'm tired of like wall shaking and screaming and threats and just, yeah. Anyway, she tried to put her fucking hands on me. We all know how that went. And yeah, let's just say 3 years estranged. God bless. And I took a chance with a lot of things because, you know, so I get it. It's hard to tell what your gut is saying versus, but like, sometimes you just know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, sometimes I feel a pull towards certain things, or if it's not like a weird like I need to approach this person, I need to like approach this opportunity. It just kind of feels like you could be walking, or yeah, like I said last night, it'll be like, I'm this makes me nervous, but the other option would make me extremely depressed. So it's technically not even giving you a choice. Sometimes you're faced with moments like that, and they're important to take those moments. And I just find it hysterical how, like, I don't know, everything did work out, and everything has worked out, and everything will always work out. So even if you do something that, like, doesn't fully pan out how you wished, it could still be very, very wonderfully done, you know? It can sometimes put you on the right path. Like, yeah, I did stand up comedy like that one night at two venues like 2 years ago, and you know how do I put this? The pain of like silence with a few laughs at like one or two jokes was pretty damn good, and it was worth the joy of making all those friends that I made and having people who cared about me and cherished me, and they were all very sweet, lovely individuals. And then there's yeah, and tonight, I mean last night, that was me just going, you know what, let me give this a shot because hey, I could use the money and I could also use some friends, and this will be a quick way to get to talk to people. And lo and behold, did I absolutely own the stage? I'll say yes. I'll say actually yes, I did. Did I win the rap battle? Fuck no. But I did win a whole bunch of like praise and compliments and wonderful people and like free access to this event now that I love, and it's an exquisite time. I'm so happy. God bless. Amen. So I'm just saying, sometimes you need to have your main character moment. Try your luck. Really try, like, you know, like, as I was saying, I don't know, I feel so bad whenever I meet people who didn't take chances when they could have. Those are my least favorite types of people. There's a million stories I could tell you about, like, people who don't think they're cute, but then, like, never try, and then years later they will be like, oh, it turns out I actually was super cute back in the day. Why did I hate myself so much? Or, like, you know, stuff like that is just very important. Like, always try. Take the risk. If anything, I remember a smaller moment when I was a teenager. I remember my mother had a really abusive, shitty night with me. And I remember I thought to myself, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna do something, and I don't care if she likes it or not, because she already doesn't like me. And I remember I specifically had this, like, dark purple lipstick, and I just put it on in the mirror. And she came into the bathroom, and she stared me down, just, like, fucking audacious, like... And I entirely ignored her eye contact and just wore to school, and everyone actually praised me and said that it looks great on me. And yeah, I'm just saying, like, you have to do things even if other people don't like them. You have to do things sometimes even if you don't like them, because it's important. It shapes the person you are as a human being. And if you never face your fears and you never try to stand up for yourself, you're never going to grow. And if anything, maybe I'll end it on this note. A friend of mine, autistic non-binary, um, let's see, their name was Nico. We used to be very good friends. They used to call me constantly crying about like how shit was fucked for them and how they were poor and struggling, and how their abusive ex, who worked with the same people who like were cutting off their disability funds, and trying to smear their reputation and stuff. And like, you know, they were constantly suicidal, constantly crying, all that. Eventually, I did kind of have to convince them, like, hey, you know, you gotta get a job, right? Like, you should get a job, it'll be good for you. And then they had a self-fulfilling prophecy, and they're like, no, I can't get a job, I'm not built for work, I'm too mentally unstable and ill for that. I said, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I told them I thought the exact same thing. And the next thing you know, like, when I left my mother after she attacked me, I knew I had to get a job. And then next thing you know, it actually went pretty well. Like, yes, there were ups and downs, but you know, it's like I got a job at like a shitty soul food restaurant, and I met a lot of really nice customers. I met some assholey ones who I still could kind of laugh at, like later on down the line, or vent to my friends about after the shift. I made really good money in tips, got free food, like, and then that cut like most of my grocery bills in half, and like I got to afford a pretty nice place because of it, and more of my hobbies. I'm just saying, it's like, it's not as bad as you think. And like, I also have really, like, you know, I let's just say we're both autistic and stuff. I told them I recognize that you have like still some more severe things that I don't inherently have quite as intensely, but you're still someone who very easily, like, could get any job you want just by walking in, like, really. And then let's just say one thing led to another, and then they ended up working a really nice job. And then when that job went shit, they got a new one. And then when that job went shit, they took another risk. They were like, you know what? Like, they noticed people were complimenting their dog a lot, and then they were like, maybe I can be a dog influencer. And now, like, the last I've heard of them, they've been going to like endless dog influencer parties, like with their cute puppy, and socializing and getting brand deals and stuff, and they took that risk. And they do. And they grew as a person, and I am happy for them, even though we have stayed out of contact. But it was a blessing. Amen. Sometimes you have to do that. You'll be shocked at what good can come your way. And now I'm excited to see what comes next for me. Peace out. Oh, also, well, yeah, this YouTube channel is an example of that. Like, my most viral video that I've made on here was me taking a gamble and just simply posting a video that I thought was funny about a dude getting his braces stuck in my you know wheres. And now I'm here and I have like almost 2,000 subscribers, and that feels really nice. Anyway, peace out. Bye.